Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 is an act in India dating from the British colonial rule that is still in force largely unchanged. In India, the Negotiable Instrument Act was passed during 1881, which came into force 1st March 1882. A negotiable instrument means a promissory note, bill of exchange, or check payable either or order to bearer. But in section 1 it is also described that local extent saving of uses relating to hundis. Hundi is a financial instrument that developed in medieval India for use in trade and credit transaction. Promissory note. Section 4. A promissory note is an instrument in writing containing an unconditional undertaking signed by the maker to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the order of a certain person to the bearer. Bill of exchange. Section 5. A bill of exchange is an instrument in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker directing a certain person to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer. A promise or order to pay is not conditional within the meaning of this section and section 4 by the reason of the time for payment of the amount or any installment thereof being expressed to be on the lapse of the certain period of after the occurrence of a specified event, which according to the ordinary expectation of mankind is certain to happen, although the time of its happening may be uncertain. The sum payable may be certain within the meaning of the section and section 4, although it includes future interest or is payable at an indicated rate of exchange or is according to the course of action, and although the instrument provides that in default of payment of an installment, the balance unpaid shall become due. The person to whom it is clear that the direction is given or that payment is to be made may be a certain person within the meaning of the section and section 4, although he is misnamed or designated by description only. Check. Section 6. A check is a bill of exchange drawn on a specified banker and not expressed to be payable otherwise than on demand, and it includes the electronic image of truncated check and a check in the electronic form. A check in the electronic form. It means a check which contains the exact mirror image of a paper check and is generated, written and signed in a secure system ensuring the minimum safety standard with the use of digital signature. A truncated check. It means a check which is truncated during the course of a clearing cycle, either by the clearing house or by the bank, whether paying or receiving payment immediately on generation of an electronic image for transmission, substituting the further physical movement of the check in writing. Now I am telling about the types of checks. Bearer check. The first among the types of check is the bearer check. This check is payable to the bearer of the check or whose name the check carries in the column meant for the name of the drawee. Ideally, this check has or bearer printed at the end of the dotted lines, which means is meant to have the name of the drawee. This check can be presented over the counter of the drawee bank and is payable to the one presenting it. It is transferable instrument and thus can be passed on to another by mere delivery. There is no need to endorse this type of check. Second, ordered check. In this check, the printed word bearer is cancelled and thereby making it payable only to the person whose name is written in the place of drawee. Once bearer has been cancelled on the check, it is automatically understood that this is an ordered check, and the bank can only complete the transaction once they have identified to their satisfaction the bearer of the check to be the same person as named in it. Third, crossed check. In a crossed check, the drawee makes two parallel transverse lines at the top left corner of the check with or without writing account payee. This makes sure that no matter who presents the check to the drawee bank, the transaction is made into the account of the person named in the check only. The advantage of the cross check is that it reduces the risk of money being given to an unauthorized person because this type of check can only be cashed by the drawee bank. Fourth, open check. It also known sometimes as an uncrossed check. Any check that is not crossed comes under the open check category. This check can only be presented to the drawer's bank and is payable to the person presenting it. The drawee of this check can also transfer it to the another person by writing their name on the check and thereby making them the drawee. To make the check open, the word open should not be crossed off, and the person issuing the check must ensure his signature on both the front and the back of the check. Otherwise, the payee may be denied the payment by the bank. The payee is also expected to sign at the back of the check while receiving the amount. Fifth, post-dated check. A check bearing a later date than the one on which it is actually issued is called as a post-dated check. This check may be presented to the drawee bank at any time after its issuance, but the money will not be transferred from the account of the payer until the date mentioned on the check. The payee can also present the check after the date mentioned on the check too. It will still to be valid and the money will be transferred to the payee account. 6. Stale check. As the name suggests, a stale check is one which is past its validity period and can no longer be encashed. Initially, this period was 6 months from the date of issue. Now this period has been reduced to 3 months. Traveler's check. These may be equated with a universally accepted currency. A traveler's check is available almost everywhere and comes in various denominations. This is an instrument issued by the bank itself to make payment from one place to another. There is no expiry date of the traveler's check and thus it can be used during the next travel as well, or you have the option to encash it once you land back in India. 8th, self-check. The drawer usually issue a self-check to himself. The name column of the drawee has two words self written in it. A self-check is drawn when the drawer wishes to withdraw money from the bank in cash for his use. This check can only be encashed in the account holder or the drawer bank. This check must be used carefully because if it is lost, another person may easily get it encashed by visiting the drawer bank. 9th, banker's check. A banker's check is self-explanatory here. It is a check issued by the bank on behalf of an account holder in order to make payment of a specified sum by order to another person within the same city. It is valid only for 3 months from the date of issue, but if needed, it can be revalidated upon fulfilling certain legal obligations. Now I am telling about what are the types of crossing of check. Check crossed generally. Section 123. Where a check bears across its face an addition of words and company or any abbreviation thereof between two parallel transverse lines or to two parallel transverse lines simply, either with or without the words, not negotiable, that in addition shall be deemed a crossing and a check shall be deemed to be crossed generally. Check crossed especially. Section 124. Where a check bears across its face an addition of the name of a banker, either with or without the words not negotiable, that addition shall be deemed a crossing and the check shall be deemed to be crossed especially and to be crossed to that of banker. Check crossed especially. Section 126. Where a check is crossed generally, the banker on whom it is drawn shall not pay it otherwise than to a banker. Payment of check crossed especially. Where a check is crossed especially to the banker on whom it is drawn shall not pay it otherwise than to the banker to whom it is crossed on his agent for collection. Check bearing not negotiable. Section 130. A person taking a check crossed generally or especially, bearing in either case the words not negotiable, it shall not have and shall not be capable of giving a better title to the check than that which the person from whom he took it had. Now, what is demand draft? A demand draft is a negotiable instrument similar to a bill of exchange. A bank issues a demand draft to a client, directing another bank or one of its own branches to pay a certain sum to the specified party. A demand draft can also be compared to a check. However, demand drafts are difficult to countermand. Demand draft can only be made payable to a specified party, also known as a pay to order. But checks can also be made payable to the bearer. Demand draft are orders of payment by a bank to another bank, whereas checks are order of payment from an account holder to the bank. 6 offenses under section 138. He must have drawn a check or an account maintained by him in a bank for payment of a certain amount of money to another person from out of that account. Second, the check should have been issued for the discharge in whole or in part of any debt or other liability. Third, the check has been presented to a bank within the period of 3 months from the date on which it is drawn or within the period of validity whichever is earlier. Fourth, the check is returned by the bank unpaid, either because of the amount of money standing to the credit of the account is insufficient to honor the check, or that it exceeds the amount arranged to be paid from that account by an agreement made with the bank. Fifth, the payee or the holder in due course of the check makes a demand for the payment of the said amount of money by giving a notice in writing to the drawer of the check within the 30 days of the receipt of information by him from the bank regarding the return of the check as unpaid. 6. The drawer of such a check fails to make a payment of the said amount of money to the payee or to the holder in due course of the check within the 15 days of the receipt of the said notice.